When you look at people around you that are making a difference, that are making an impact, I can guarantee you they are sharpening their skills. They're not sitting around idle. So here's the deal. Each of us are so different. Now, the beautiful thing is we understand as followers of Jesus Christ and those with a biblical worldview that God has created us. He's wired us with these gifts, these skills that together are intended to work together for the furtherance of the gospel and the furtherance of the kingdom. And we're each unique. I mean, I'm amazed when I look at the people in my church and in my family and those closest to me, how we are each so uniquely wired. And I have loved ones that are so hospitable, and some that are so organized, and some that are great teachers, and some that are great counselors and listeners, and some that are just willing to roll up their sleeves and work, and they just have a common sense and business sense. And we each have this unique gifting that God comes from the Lord. Now, here's the thing that I want to remind you of today, and that is you have to develop your gifts. You have to sharpen those gifts. Yes, God gives us gifts, but we have to work at them every day. So I've got a dad that was great in basketball in high school and college, and he holds national records. But you know what? Just because he was good at basketball didn't mean you have to practice. Didn't mean that he could skip those practices and the hard work. No, he had to work at sharpening those skills and developing those skills. And that's what you and I have to do every day. So how's God wired you? Are you sharpening those skills? When you look at people around you that are making a difference, that are making an impact, I can guarantee you they are sharpening their skills. They're not sitting around idle. Go back and look at the people in the Bible. I mean, think about Samuel. I was just talking to someone about Samuel the other day. Samuel learned by watching Eli, right? Think about David. David spent all of those years as a shepherd boy perfecting his skill with the slingshot, and it really came in handy when he was faced with that giant Goliath. What about in the New Testament? Think of Timothy. Timothy had Paul, and he developed those skills. The Bible is full of these kind of people, or these examples of developing your skills. When you look around you, those that are really doing things and doing things well and making a difference and making things happen, they aren't just sitting around idle, they are developing their skills. Now, here's the frog I want you to eat today. So you hear me talk a lot about eating the frog first. Mark Twain said if you eat a live frog first thing in the morning, that nothing worse will happen the rest of the day. So his point was, when I say I want you to eat the frog first, I want you to do the most difficult yet the most important thing first. And here's what it is today. I want you to think about this. What can I do today to sharpen my skills or my gifts or my talents or whatever it is that you call it that God has given you, the way God has wired you, right? That thing that makes you unique, that thing that helps you in your ministry, that helps you in your business, that helps you lead well, that helps you relate well. How can I develop that in my life? Now, I want you to think about it today, and I want you to think about it tomorrow, and I want you to think about it the following day and the following week and the following month, until it really becomes a pattern of your life where you're constantly developing your skills. Ryan, how do I develop my skills? Great question. Glad you asked. There are lots of ways to develop your skills. The first thing that comes to my mind is you need to find someone, right, who has the skills that you desire or is growing in an area that you need to grow. Observe them and then imitate what they're doing, right? Imitate their practices. Grow to be like them. Read what they have to say. Listen to what they have to speak. Hang around them. Get in as close proximity to them as you can. And here's the thing. It really boils down to just always be willing to grow. What's something I can do today to grow this skill in my life? I do not at all want to get comfortable with where I am. I do not want to get comfortable with where I've been. I want to constantly be stretching myself to grow. Pastor Rick Warren says that, he said once that growing leaders are happy leaders. And if you want to be happy, if you want to be successful, you need to be growing. Remember that the leadership is not a destination, right? Whether you are leading in the ministry or the marketplace, whether you are leading in the secular or the sacred, you will never arrive. I never arrive. You never arrive. It is a journey, and in the journey, I need to always be growing. I need to always be growing. Hey, go sharpen those skills. I think as you develop the habits in your life of sharpening and developing those skills, I'm telling you what, it's going to be a huge, huge game changer for you. And everyone